Things have been going really well. Our loss to Clermont in the French Cup has been the only loss we've had this year. And that is a really good thing. We beat, show 1-0. We beat Boston 2-0 last episode. We didn't turn around and beat an ASSE 1-0. Dijon, we absolutely thumped 3-0. Silva, Palencium on conduit goals. Everybody had a really solid game, with the exception of Cafaro. He's been kind of hit or miss. Garnacho also kind of had an off game as well. He was coming off an injury there. Against Nimes, we beat them 3-1 thanks to a brace of goals by Gelhardt and a Cafaro goal. Against Pau, we beat them 3-2. They made this game a lot closer than it should have been. We were comfortably ahead. We were 3-0 up at the half, and then Delay scored in the 69th minute. Then Karamoko Dembele scored for them in the 82nd minute. I was really kind of holding my breath at the end because they were charging forward, and I thought for sure we were going to get FM'd. And then against Bordeaux, we absolutely thumped them 3-0. It didn't help that they had, Ignatenko sent off in the 75th minute, but by that point, the game was really already in hand. We had a goals by Girardin in the 37th minute. Cafaro scored on a penalty kick. Gelhardt put the final nail in the coffin. And so we're going to play Amiens and Havre today. And that is simply because if we look at the league table, Havre is in 3rd place. Amiens is in 8th. We have not exactly a commanding lead in the league. We're 8 points ahead of Metz, and there's still 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 12. There's more than enough games to play. So actually what I've been concentrating on today more than anything else has been scouting. It is the 10th of March. Players whose contracts are expiring, you can start taking a look at them and making offers on them. If we go to the squad planner here, well, okay, we're going to look here first. If we go into, and I need to take off the unavailables and the not at clubs because this will cover the loan players as well, and we sort by contract expiration date. Kwemizo Maiga is already leaving. He signed a contract with Slovan Liberec, so he's going to be moving to Slovakia here. So, of the players that we have leaving that I really want to keep a hold of, did we offer Mathis Saban a contract? Yeah, we did. I wish it would tell you when you actually had a contract offer in place. So we're losing Edmondson Correa. He's going to Vikingur. A lot of these players I'm not too concerned about losing. Cafaro, I'm kind of going back and forth on. I think we can get a younger winger in on loan or permanently. Who's just as good as he is, maybe with a little bit more potential. Silva, I'm letting go. He's 31 years old. He's been kind of all over the place. He's really fallen off this year. Namri, I'm re-signing, but players like Kaladat, Quinaz, Saban, we're re-signing. Othman, we're re-signing. Alexander James, we can let go. Garnet, we're going to let go. Ngongolo. Okay, I'll get there eventually. Basically, anyone on here who isn't at least 4-star potential ability, we're probably going to let go. The only player I might keep who isn't 4-star potential ability is Boubacar Fall, because you can never have enough backups at goalkeeper, even if they're playing on the 2 squad or the B squad. Garnacho, I'd be interested in bringing him back on loan if Jesse Marsh didn't constantly complain about every time I played him out of position. Now, when I got him in on loan, I said, yes, I will play him at inverted winger on the left. But there have been a couple of occasions where I've had to start him on the right, and a couple of occasions where he started at striker because I had no one else to play. And I kid you not, every freaking time I do that, Jesse Marsh comes to me. I'm almost positive it's Jesse Marsh. Let me check something out here real quick. No, it's Steve McLaren. Where am I getting Jesse Marsh from? It was Eric Ten Hag would come to me and be like, why are you playing him out of position? And it's like, dude, seriously, he played 60 minutes there. Where am I getting Jesse Marsh from? Is that Joe Gelhardt? Yeah, it's Joe Gelhardt. Jesse Marsh does the same thing every once in a while, but he didn't do it nearly as often. He'll do it like every 4 or 5 games. Gelhardt's been playing striker. There's a couple of times I've played him out on the right, I want to say, just because he was on the bench and I wanted to get him some playing time. So, 30 minutes on the bench and I get an email or a phone call from Jesse Marsh going, why are you playing my player out of position? Although that was like every 3 or 4 games when I did that. Freaking Eric Ten Hag was after every game. And I was like, okay, dude, there's a reason you got fired from Man United. And it's not because they're currently 9th in the Prem. So I've been scouting players. I've been using the ScreenFlow to help me out a little bit. These are the scouts I have out right now. I've got one in South America, one in West Africa, hitting Nigeria, Senegal, and Ivory Coast. I've got one in Iberia, Spain, and Portugal. And I've got one hitting France, Belgium, and the Netherlands. Although because of our knowledge in that, we are getting results from other countries. I'm searching for youngsters mostly, 19 to 23, 17 to 20, 17 to 23. We got some good players coming up. Mohammed Ali Ben Ramdane would be a player I would absolutely love to sign. He's just going to be way too expensive. And he's not interested in transferring anyways. He's happy at ES Tunis. But what I do is I create a short list, potential 23, 24 loans and transfers. I do it every year. Put the players I want on there for 6 months. If there's someone I'm interested in long term, I'll put them on the default list. Isahaku Abdul Fatuwu is a wonder kid from back in the day. His issue is his potential ability. There's other videos talking about it. Tom FM just did one with Wonder Kids where everybody has a rating. And that rating is, this is what their potential ability, this is the floor of their potential ability, this is the ceiling of their potential ability. Every time a game is created, you load in leagues, you start a new save, that number is randomized. So as an example, say Fatuu's floor for his potential ability is 130 and his ceiling is 170. Every time you create a save, his potential ability could be 130, it could be 170, it could be somewhere in between there. In looking at this, I am thinking his potential ability is probably in the 140s, which is not bad by any stretch of the imagination. But there are a couple of things that still kind of put me off him. The 5 positioning is not the best. He's injury prone. I don't know if that's new or just a result of what's going on, but he's having an okay career at Sporting for the moment. If we take a look, they signed him for 1.2 million. He's gotten a couple starts on their B squad. He's played a couple times for the first team and doing really well. If he didn't have the injury history issue, I would probably look at him. The other players I tend to look at kind of fit into this mold right here. Mohammed Rija Jalil. He's 23 years old. He's coming across as an A recommended player. I was literally just on him and something happened. Now, he doesn't enjoy important matches, so that kind of already puts me off him. 5'5", 141 pounds from Iraq. The strength 1 also puts me off him too, as does the 5 bravery. But he's grading out as an A. I suspect if, you know what, get an overview. Yeah, he's 2.5 star current, 5-star potential. And frankly, if he was 3 years younger, I might take a flyer on him. But you know what? No, we won't put him on the list. But kind of what I'm looking for is a Jack McGlynn type, perhaps, depending on what his negatives are over here. You know, he's a midfielder, 11 caps for the under-20 American squad. He's not really lacking anywhere, but at the same time, he's not really strong anywhere. We take a look at his they're saying he's 2-star current ability, 4.5-star potential ability. His best role's a central mid, which my formation uses. What would he want to transfer? And this is the other thing you got to watch out for, and it's happened in previous ones as well. Especially with players from Africa, you'll look at them and be like, "Oh, hey, you know, you're not on a contract or anything like that." But then you look down here at the bottom, and it's like, "Oh, their club is going to get 775,000 plus other monies in the future." 2.8. That's not bad. Plus, he's not showing up till the first. I'm okay with that. We'll take a flyer on him, and he's young enough that even if he doesn't turn out for us, I'm reasonably sure we can turn around and move him on for some money. And for a person we're bringing in on a free, I don't think there's anything wrong with that. The other thing I like to do is simply, you know, just go into your scouting view and start searching by position, and then, you know, set your scouting to at least a B. And then if there's certain things that you like or want to look at, you know, I always tend to put determination as like a 6. So that's all these guys. Pushing for anything particular? Nope, 17 to 28. Pressing forwards. Yeah, I've got pressing forward on. So you get some guys like this. Now, if I go here, the other thing you can do, okay, so you go to attributes, you go pick, attributes for the role, attacking roles. Pressing forward, on attack. Now, the one thing that does kind of screw everything up is that it sets all of them to whatever. But if like I set this to 12, it's probably not going to give me any results. Because I've got 17 categories that I'm trying to match up there, excuse me. But if I change that to 15, okay, Ezekiel Ponce at Elche comes up. If I change that to 13, probably a quarter of however many attributes that you have selected is what I would go with. 13 of 17 is not bad at all. If you go and look at some of the players, Ezekiel Ponce, we'll take a look at him. We can't afford him. It's 33,000 euros a week. I wouldn't pay that. That's not bad. I mean, he would definitely do a job for us if I was interested in signing him. Same thing with Ignacio Ramiro. Actually, I would potentially take a flyer on Ramirez. You know, we'll add him to the short list just to see what other potentials I have coming up. Now, for end of year stuff, I only put them on the short list for about 6 months because I don't want them there full time unless they're a player that I'd be interested in signing down the road. You know, we can look at that here too. List. So like here's who I have on the potential 23-24 transfers and loan list. The probably the one player who would stay on here full time is going to be Mohamed Ali Ben Ramdane. He is a midfielder from Tunis. He has no interest in leaving the club at the moment, but he is a very good midfielder. I think. Yeah, 4.5 star current ability, 4.5 star potential ability. His transfer value is not bad, 5.75. He's better than any midfielder I have at the moment. He just doesn't want to leave Tunis. I'd have to overpay to get him at the moment. So I love that he relishes big matches. That's one of the other things I'm kind of paying attention to this year. Who else we got in here? Jandro Orellana from FC Andorra. Again, loves big matches. Has a little bit of an injury history. But again, a solid defensive midfielder who can also play midfielder. 3.2 million is not bad. Slight interest in transfer. But, you know, sometimes you come and you make an offer. He's won by 16 clubs. Wow. A couple others. David Salazar from Universidad Católica in Chile. They are, Universidad Católica is one of the biggest clubs in Chile. They also have a good youth system. So if he's a young player, chances are, in looking at him, he probably came up through them, or, well, in this case, he didn't. Wait a minute. Universidad Concepcion. No, they're not a feeder. Overview. Affiliated clubs. No, they're not a feeder club for Católica. Like if we look at Católica, though, you know, great training facilities, excellent youth facilities. I mean, if we even go here into facilities, great training facilities, excellent youth facilities, good academy coaching, exceptional youth recruitment. They're one of the bigger clubs in Chile. David Salazar, midfielder, 18 years old, definitely has some potential. Has a few holes in his game, the 7 stamina, the 8 strength, the 8 teamwork. But, you know, if I'm looking for a youngster to bring on loan for a decent fee, he's probably one of the ones I would look at. I do have a couple of spaces on my non-EU player list. You know, I need a new defensive left back. So someone like Teo, I put Teo Adamarola on there. He's currently on loan from Palace at RWDM. Racing White Daring Molenbeek. Are they South Africa? Oh, Belgian. Okay, I never would have guessed that in a million years. But at the same time, at Palace, he's behind Tyrick Mitchell. He may never get a chance to start. And he's not bad. I'd be more than happy to have him on my club. Rodrigo, we made a bid for. His contract's ending, so we're not paying anything in terms of a transfer fee. I'm taking a flyer on him. I wish maybe his teamwork was a little bit higher. and his positioning. But he's coming in for not a lot of money. He's 22 years old, and I think if he's not going to be a full-time starter at striker for us, he can definitely be a contributor. I can bring him off the bench, no problem. And who else are we looking at? Someone like Guillermo Wagner from Wanderers. 21 years old, has a couple caps for the Uruguayan under 20 squad. He wouldn't be that expensive at the moment. 21 years old, still has room to improve, and he's definitely got some potential. So, am I having him scouted? Oh, we'll get him scouted. Oh. And looking at my squad planner, this is growing on me. I used to be an Excel spreadsheet type of guy, but this is growing on me. I just like going to the full squad view and looking at it like this. I wish there was a way you could customize these a little bit more, but as an example, I know we're going to need a left wing back. I know we're going to need a couple of midfielders. If depth more than anything else, I wouldn't mind a little bit more depth here. Etienne Green is wanted. My big fear is that he's going to move on somewhere. He's been a solid keeper for us this year. I'm just hoping that if he does move, we get a decent amount of money for him. So I've got some backup keepers I'm looking at. There was one who came across from Africa. And I thought for sure I had found like a hidden gem. And then Tom FM came out with a video. Did I not put him on the list? I could have sworn I'd put him on the list. Or list. Add to short list. We're going to put him on there indefinitely. Nathaniel Nowusu from the Nigerian lower divisions. You have to load Africa as a country to get him. Now, my scout says currently he's a C-. He's 17 years old. He's that at 17 years old. His potential has to be through the roof. His anticipation would have to come up. His technique would have to come up. His first touch would have to come up. But he's 6'3", 169 pounds. I could have sworn. Yep, scouting in progress. And frankly, he popped up because I saw him on a ScreenFlow. That's where I first saw him. So that's, especially for countries you don't have loaded or countries you may not have loaded, load the competitions up. They'll pop up. So today we're going to play Amiens. They're currently in 8th, and then we're going to play Lahac. They're in 3rd. I have to switch my training around here real quick, and we'll be back. Oh, I should have done it here too. Okay, well, at least we're resting. Maybe I can stop this real quick and get that fixed. So we're going to be back with Amiens in just a bit. Yeah, Etienne Green is wanted by Salerno now, and if he doesn't want to go, I won't let him go, but other clubs could come in and make a move for him. The interesting thing, I didn't realize this, is that he's English. He has under 21 caps. He's young enough. He moves to a bigger club and gets some decent playing time. There's a potential he could move up to the English national squad. No, I absolutely missed this. We got our youth intake. Oh, wow. This is exceptional. Darius Samba. Against midfielder on the right. Good final third. Nice positioning. Nice tackling. 16 aggression. His passing isn't bad. For 15 years old. Holy cow. The 5 strength's a bit on the low side, but again, 15 years old. Yeah, we're definitely offering you a contract right now. Get an optional contract extension. And we'll take that. Joris Georgi. There's a name I'm not going to stumble over at all. Midfielder on the right. A little bit of an injury history. 15 years old. Good determination. Nice acceleration and pace. Natural fitness and work very nice. Agility's nice. First touch is nice. Crossing is nice. We'd have to retrain him to be probably, what's his positioning? 6'4", 5 on that. He's got good quickness. His movement would have to come up. We might be able to train him as a wing back. We're definitely going to sign him. Damian Bertrand. Defensive left back. That's kind of what we need. 5'7", 15 years old. 15 determination, 11 teamwork. And pace 9 acceleration. You know those are come up. especially with his fitness and work rate at 15, first touch at 13, anticipation, decision-making at 13, 11 vision, 15 tackling, 16 bravery. Holy cow. Mahmoud Sangomo, a defensive mid, 15 years old, 11 determination, only 3 strength though, 10 natural fitness, 7 agility and balance, 15 technique, 15 first touch, 12 dribbling, 14 decision making, 11 passing, 12 vision, 16 bravery. Oh, he's got deep line playmaker written all over him. And then they're saying Bahadir Demir is a diamond amongst them. Midfielder, 17 orientation, 14 leadership, 11 acceleration, 13 pace. His endurance is nice. 15 work rate, 12 natural fitness, 13 agility, 13 technique, 11 decision making, 13 tackling with 17 bravery. This is marking. Kings 8. Wow. Plays short, simple passes. Shoots from distance already. I didn't look at, we're going to sign him real quick, and then we're going to go take a look back at the other guys, because I missed that on the other guys. Why can't I only sign him to 2 years? Sangomo doesn't have any additional runs with ball down the right. Okay, that's to be expected. Does not dive into tackles. Oh, they have him a defensive right back. Okay. Top talents. Antonin Lachad from Switzerland. Defensive left back. 15 determination, 12 teamwork, 11 stamina, 11 agility, 13 first touch. 8 marking, 8 positioning, 12 tackling. I mean, really the only thing he's bad at is long shots, corners, and penalty taking. And then Maxence Chaput, a little bit of an injury issue. 3 flair, 2 dribbling, 11 determination, 15 teamwork, 13 jumping reach, only 6 strength. 15 balance though. 14 bravery, 12 heading, 5'11", 141 pounds. Defensive center back. He's got potential too. Can only sign him to a youth contract? It's really weird, but okay. Because he's 14? He's 15. Why can't I sign him to a youth contract, but not the others? Why am I limited in signing him to a youth contract and not the others? That was a really good youth intake. It's probably one of the better ones I've had in a while. Holy. Okay, we need to get to the game here. So we're gonna have Green and goal, Sane and Twanzebe as the defensive backs. Twanzebe have a preference? We should be on the right. Okay. Silva and Palencia are the wing backs. Memisevic is the defensive mid behind Lobre and Monconduit. Garnacho and Cafaro are the wingers. Gelhardt up top as the strikers. That was a nice intake. I'll just sit down and grade those guys out here in a little bit. We'll do that after the episode. Mendy. Memisevic puts it up. Gets it out to Silva. Silva. Up to Garnacho. Garnacho cuts inside, loses the ball. Poku to Mendy. To Isaac. Isaac lumps it forward. Carcabaro was the closest player there, but he wasn't going to get to it. Silva. Lobre. Lobre back to Sane. Sane across the field to Palencia, who's already picked up a yellow. Monconduit feeds Gelhardt. Gelhardt takes the shot, but Gertner a nice save. Isaac on the throw-in for Amiens. Mendy. Isaac. All the way back to Gertner. Gertner lumps it forward, headed down by Sane. Goes right to Isaac, though. He gets it back to Mendy. Mendy holds it up. Back to Opoku. He sends it forward. Twanzebe heads it down. Akadari. Back and forth. Gelhardt ends up with it. Gets him on Conduit. He breaks forward. Goes by the defender and toes a shot very wide right. Gertner. Oh, Twanzebe misplayed that. Karkaburu takes a shot. That could have gone a lot worse. We go into half. Tied 0-0. This has been an interesting game so far. 12 shots, 3 on target for us, 6 and 1 for them. We're completing a lot of our passes. We're intercepting a lot of theirs. Palencia up to Cafaro. Holds it up, turns around, crosses it. Gelhardt couldn't get there in time before Poku knocked it away. However, Memisevic gets up to Monconduit. Lobre, he takes a long shot. He slots it past a diving keeper on the left side. That was very nice. Palencia. Dispossessed by Kakuta. I'm going to have to get Palencia off. He's coming too much. Barkabaru. Absolutely blast that one into low Earth orbit. We're going to make a couple of subs here. We need to get Palencia off. Bring on Namri. It's kind of a step down, but I can't afford to have him on with the yellow card. Faro could be having a better game, so we're going to bring on Abi. Anyone else really at this point? Yeah, just those two. Namri's still nervous. I'm not sure how I feel about that. Interesting slate of foot by Green there. Silva on the left. Drives forward. Gets by the one. Still moving along. Cuts inside. On conduit from distance. Just wide right. 15 shots, 4 on target for us. No clear-cut chances, though. We're shooting a little bit too far from distance. I am almost positive. Yeah, we're working ball on us. We're overlapping left, we're overlapping right. Yeah, we're working the ball into the box. And that is the game with a 1-0 victory, thanks to a Lawbury goal in the 46th minute. And I followed my assistant coach's advice, and now the team is stressed. We are now 10 points ahead of Mets. Our 13th straight game. I'm going to save the match. The youth candidates are going to play, and then we will be back for our game against La Hack in just a bit. Well, against a very good Le Havre team, this is who we've got today. We've got Green and goal, Sane and Girardin as the defensive back, Alvarez and Palencia as the wing backs, Memisevic as the defensive mid behind Lowbury and Monconduit. Abi and Kafaro, that is wrong. Abi needs to come off, and Garnacho needs to come on, and Gonzalez up top as striker. And just because I know how much it bothers me, I did go into OBS and take out the cursor. It always bugs me when I watch other YouTubers and streamers, they like leave their cursor right in the middle of the page. It's a personal quirk. I wish I could explain it, but 20 minutes in. First highlight. Hallam. Lekel. Hajram. Casimir up into space. Thiari got by the defenders. 1-1 with Green. Near post. His 22nd goal of the season. Good grief. Game seemed to be jumping there for a minute. Hopefully it's recording well. Lobre. Garnacho. Lost forward. No one in a St. Etienne kit there. Lekhal. Up into space. Diakite. Right before half, too. Alvarez on the throw-in. Memisevic back to Alvarez. He gets away. Memisevic loses the ball. Diakite up to Thiari. It's 1 against 4, and I think Thiari still has the advantage. Aliui up into space. Casimir and Green gets enough on it just to deflect it. We've just not had any offensive game movement. We're sucking hind tit is what we're doing. Jeez. Doesn't help that Gonzalez was on a 6'2", Alvarez was on a 6'5", Garnacho was on a 6'2", and we had a good week of training and everything. I mean, I knew we were going to lose sooner or later. I was expecting us to put up more of a fight. And the kicker is we're still dominating the game from a statistics point of view with regards to passing, possession, tackles, and things like that. It's just when they have the ball, they're doing more with it. Monconduit, Lobre, off the post. He follows up. Wow, that was a misplay by El Jaham and the keeper. Kickoff highlight. Thiare, tip back to El Jaham, Congolo. Lakal, Pechta, Alawi, Thiare. It's by the defender. Fournette. Oh, nice save. Congolo to Lekal. Back to Congolo. Lofts it up. Palencia. Acrobatic save by Green. That was probably just on the wrong side of unnecessary. Dude, your wing backs are really wide open. You're just going to hoof it down the field. On Conduit. Gelhart. Out to Palencia. Come on, can we equalize? Waji loses the ball. Gets it back. Tries crossing it in. Conduit centers it. Gelhardt's there, but a nice save by the Lahac keeper. Silva off the corner kick. Dispossessed. Sane. Girardin. Nemisevich. Back out to Lobre. Silva goes left. Running away. Tries crossing it in. Bounces it off a Lahac player. It's going to be a corner kick. The game's stuttering. I don't know why. Silva sends it in. Desmas jumps up and grabs it. Gelhardt from distance. Desmas, a nice save. Silva, last chance. Knocked away. Yare. Oh, he had the breakaway on the defenders. Thought he was going to score, but he didn't need to. Man, that was annoying. On several levels, that was very, very annoying. Holy cow. Well, our unbeaten streak comes to an end. The good news is we're still 10 points ahead of Metz and 11 points ahead of Le Havre. Lahac. I just keep calling him Lahac. Le Havre, Le Havre. What are we going to do next? Well, first, we're going to save the game. I think what we're going to do is just play to the end. We'll play. We're going to skip these 8 games. We're going to go to Valenciennes. We'll play Valenciennes. We'll take a look at the end of the squad. We'll take a look at possible moves out. Well, we know what the possible moves out are. It's going to be everybody with a contract expiring, except those guys that I've re-signed, and there's only 3 or 4 of those. Potential areas that we need to strengthen. Take a look at scouting and staffing for next year. One of the things I am going to try and do is make some improvements in a couple areas. Probably find a nicer shade of orange so I can see it a little clearer. And then finish our first season. Hopefully prep for League One. We'll find out when we get there. So, a little bit longer episode, but there was a lot going on. The youth intake was absolutely fabulous. The highlight of the season so far. The highlight of any season I've had in recent memory. Of course, playing in North Macedonia last year kind of put the kibosh on having really good youth intakes, but holy frick. Those were some really good players. And I bet you there's at least one kid in that group with wonder kid potential. I mean, one of those kids has to be at least 160 plus. And I would bet the vast majority of them are going to be in like the 130 to 150 range. I would be all on board with that. Now, the question is developing them and keeping them on the squad, which is something I'm going to look at in the offseason. I got a couple of ideas. Some of them may or may not have been tried before with varying degrees of success, but you know, I'd love to say no harm, no foul in trying, but as those of you who watch the channel know, my other favorite phrase is Custer had a plan too. So we're going to find out. So a good youth intake, a good game, a not so good game. That's about par for the course here at St. Etienne lately. But being 10 points ahead, I'm not too worried about it. You know, 6, 7 games down the road, if we're 3 points ahead, I'll be worried about it. And, you know, we may pick up the season from there. Just depends on how it goes. So all that said, if you did like what you've seen and heard, please leave a like, subscribe to the channel for more content. Questions, criticisms, comments, leave those down below. I'd be interested in your feedback on the youth intake, who you think has the potential to be a star. My name is FM23. I thank you for watching.